Upper90studios.com.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. On today's video, I'm going to rate my own team as if it was one of yours. Last week, this same group of players scored 76 points. This week, 52 points and a drop of around 100,000 in the overall rank. In order to analyze any team, I want to start by reviewing individual player and team performances from Game Week 22. So why the red arrows? Looking at my team objectively, I can see that I have a lot of players from the same teams. I'm not spreading the risk. Triple Leicester, double Wolves, double Liverpool, double Palace. That's half my team. Should I start to break things up with players from different teams? At the very least, this bad score alerted me to a potential weakness in my squad. Now, was it the captain choice? Vardy was my captain and he provided an assist for 5 points, which doubled as 10 points. Kevin De Bruyne was my vice captain with 9 points. And interestingly, owners of both Vardy and De Bruyne will only be separated by 4 points depending on which player they captained. Check this out. If you own both players, don't worry if you captain Vardy instead of De Bruyne. Of course, every point matters, but this wasn't a major contributor for my team's low score. Having too many players from the same teams, that's a bigger concern. Or maybe this was just a bad week, which we all have from time to time. The two biggest culprits were Wolves and Leicester, and I'm going to lead off with them in the Game Week 22 review. So Wolves, they worked hard, but they failed to create enough clear scoring opportunities against Newcastle. I can remember their best chance around the 30th minute. Traore put in a perfect cross to the far post, Jimenez scuffed his header, came off his shoulder, and Dubravka made a spectacular save with his feet. Had he scored, that would have been a vital swing in the points, a goal, an assist, and possible bonus points for 2 of my players. Leicester City, they were sloppy in possession, and Southampton wanted revenge for the 9-0 defeat earlier in the season. Leicester lost 2-1, but it could have been worse. Here are my notes from that game. More than usual with so many of my players involved. Chilwell, Maddison, Vardy, Ings. You can pause the video if you'd like. I'm saving all of us some time on the video with these notes. It's easy to see that Danny Ings could have easily scored a hat-trick. He looked more like Vardy than Vardy. Should I make drastic changes now or give Wolves and Leicester players another chance? Before I answer that, let's quickly run through the rest of the squad. Clean sheet for Alexander-Arnold, although Spurs might have had the 2 worst misses of the season. Son and Lo Celso failed to hit the target when it looked easier to score. Mo Salah 6 points. No goals for Salah or Mane. Salah provided the assist to Firmino. But Liverpool were flat in the attack against Spurs. I can understand all the questions we had about our fixture difficulty cheat sheet on the previous video because it started with a curious one Game Week 22. Tottenham away was rated as a red fixture for Liverpool attackers. My other notes are that even though Robertson was fortunate not to get booked, that's now 5 clean sheets in his last 5 league starts. He's a top target for double Game Week 24. Thank you for posting your thoughts on Firmino in the comments on the previous video. He scored the crucial goal, but this was a stale Liverpool performance. Boring is good for clean sheets. Action is great for attackers. Game Week 23 is crucial to my plans, which I'm going to reveal in just a minute. John Lundstrom, 6 points, had a great shot early on that was blocked, and he was subbed off early at 69 minutes with a clean sheet banked. No need to be greedy. I'll take those 6 points whenever a defender gets subbed early. 2 difficult fixtures next against Arsenal and City. I'm considering rotation in key positions to maximize my team's scoring potential. Fabianski came off early with an injury, which is a headache for his owners. It doesn't help that his return date is the second game of the double game week. And they just signed goalkeeper Randolph. West Ham defensive players, they face strong attacking sides through Game Week 30, so none of their assets make my watch list. Vicente Guaita, 3 points. I don't know how many games it's been that Guaita has 0 saves in a game. He spills that initial shot, then gobbles up the rebound, which is recorded as a double or a triple save in the same play. I benched James Tompkins, 1 point, and he came close to scoring with a header that was cleared off the line. Then he picked up a yellow that could have easily been a straight red. Injuries are piling up for Crystal Palace, who are now without 8 first-team players, including Milivojevic. I also benched Jack Grealish, 1 point against City. My top performer was, of course, Kevin De Bruyne, 9 points. His assist to Jesus, where he curls it around everyone, was just incredible. As explained on the previous video, I intend on keeping De Bruyne despite a difficult run of fixtures. So what's the plan for Game Week 23? I have 2 free transfers this week. Despite the red arrows, I'm willing to give these players another chance, as it could have just been a bad game week. This team is capable of scoring 70 plus points, as it demonstrated Game Week 21. But I am aware of its potential weakness, which is owning too many players from the same teams. One idea is to make a minor tweak so I don't lose that free transfer. For example, I don't have a problem with Guaita as my goalkeeper, but with a free transfer and no big fires to put out, I can make a small change that could help in the short term and with funds. We're using one transfer now would still give me 2 free transfers for double game week 24. So plan A, transfers out, is Guaita, transfers in, Matt Ryan. Guaita plays City next, and injuries are adding up for Crystal Palace, while Ryan faces Aston Villa and Bournemouth in his next 2. And he's also 0.2 million cheaper than Guaita, which opens up more transfer options without worrying about price changes. So what about Mahrez or Aguero? For now, I'm sticking with De Bruyne as I'm not ready for Pep Roulette. The last time I moved for Aguero earlier in the season, I captained him and he was benched the very next game after scoring in this previous 6. Sterling also has to come back at some point, which means an attacker is going to drop out. I was originally thinking of benching Lundstram against Arsenal, but now I'm having second thoughts because of Aubameyang's red card suspension. They also have a few injuries that I just saw today. Now for the double game week, I'm considering 2 options. Plan A is still Robertson in for Tompkins. But now there's a small twist because with 2 free transfers, I also have the option of moving for Rashford, who has been an absolute rank killer for my team. He would come in against a struggling Burnley side game week 24, and it would also reduce some of the risk by having fewer players from the same team. So this move allows me to bench Lundstram versus City game week 24. Imagine if the biggest winners in the mini double game week aren't actually the Liverpool players we're all focusing on, but these outer positions that we might be overlooking. If I don't move for Rashford game week 24, plan B could be Jimenez out for Firmino, no hits, really straightforward. Then I could decide whether to switch out Firmino to Rashford later on or make a bigger change for Robertson. Hopefully I would still have 2 free transfers by then. Now keep in mind, this is all dependent on performances game week 23. I have no set plans to sell Jimenez. That 1 point return from Traore and Jimenez game week 20, that actually makes their recent form look even worse. They were unlucky to be benched that game. So that's what's on my mind. Last week I showed you my watch list. This week I'm buying one of those players, Matt Ryan. Doucouré, he was a beast. Sarr did well. Both stay on my radar if Wolves failed to deliver. I'm removing Aston Villa's backup goalkeeper because they signed Pepe Reina. I'm also taking out Soyuncu after another poor performance. Chilwell, he has to step up against Burnley and West Ham before Leicester's fixtures turn around game week 25. Firmino comes in, and I've made a few minor changes to stay flexible for the future. So that's going to be a wrap for today. Stay tuned for my next video. If you like my music, all my songs are free to download on the website. See the link in the description. Be sure to follow at Upper 90 Studios on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, where you'll get an inside scoop before YouTube. And if you're brand new to the channel, be sure to like and subscribe and turn on your post notifications because this season is going to be incredible. Don't forget to subscribe to our email list and get your free fixture difficulty cheat sheet. Click the fantasy tab at upper90studios.com. If you're on a computer, it's at the top right of the page. If you're on the phone, it's at the bottom. Thanks for watching. See you soon.